Pricing is the most powerful lever on the value creation board, and the most overreached for. Margins slip. Someone in the boardroom says, "We should raise prices." The room nods. The CFO goes back to their desk. Most operators go pull the lever. The best ones I've watched reach for it last. Here's why. Sales price on its own isn't a strategic advantage. Raise prices without raising value, and you're just capturing customer value into your margin. Volume slips, brand erodes, share bleeds out quietly. Durable advantage comes from one of two moves. Cost line down, Costco's flywheel. Buy more for less, pass it back as lower price. Win volume, dilute fixed costs further, repeat. Or value lineup, Hermès on a Birkin. Build the story so well that customers believe the value and gross margins expand without volume slipping. Pricing is neither of those. Pricing is just the dial that decides how much of the value cost gap stays with you and how much goes to the customer. Which is why senior operators treat pricing as the last lever. Cost, mix, conversion, retention, exhaust those first. Reach for pricing as your first move when something's off, and you're not running a strategy. You're hiding a problem. So before by how much, the question is, what are you actually fixing? Pricing solves real problems. Margin compression. Inputs ate the EBITDA. You absorbed 2 years hoping it was temporary. It wasn't. Funding growth without dilution. Every dollar of price drops to the bottom line. Cheapest capital you'll ever raise. Multiple expansion before exit. Buyers pay more for businesses with pricing power than for ones without. The number in the model isn't the only thing that moves your multiple. The durability of that number does. But sometimes pricing isn't the answer. A margin problem might be a mix problem. Too much volume in low margin lines. It might be a costing problem in disguise. Undercosted lines get underpriced, sell well, grow as a share of mix, quietly under-recover total cost. Don't ask me how I know this. It might be a conversion problem. Yield, throughput, scrap, waste, operational, not pricing. Or a churn problem. You don't need higher prices, you need to keep the customers you have. And the worst case? Serial price increases that a strong brand absorbs because the pricing power has never been tested. Meanwhile, OEE is slipping, labor's bloated, marketing isn't converting. The brand is paying for the operating performance. Until one day, it isn't. Diagnose first, then act. Once you know it's a pricing problem, 5 questions, in order. The framework builds itself from your answers. Person or business? B2C is fast. Elasticity shows up in 2 weeks. B2B is slow, 2 to 3 quarters before real impact lands at renewal. And inside B2B, enterprise is roughly 3 times less price sensitive than SMB. One company, 2 completely different price stories. One thing or a portfolio? One product, one decision. A portfolio is one decision per line. Take a clinic chain. Vaccinations are shopped, low elasticity tolerance. Birth delivery is sticky. Surgeries are insurance mediated. A blended 5% lift isn't 5% across the board. It's 8 on the sticky lines, 2 on the shopped ones. Where do you sit versus competitors, and why? Don't just check competitor prices. Diagnose the gap. Below them because they offer more? Value problem. Below them because of brand? Positioning problem. Above them and holding share? You have switching costs. You have room. Salesforce held list flat for 7 years, then took 9%. They had room, and they had the story. 22 releases, $20 billion in R&D, AI features. The number is easy. The story is the lever. What's your contract structure? Existing customers on locked contracts won't feel a list hike for 12 to 18 months. New customers feel it tomorrow. Salesforce played this exactly. List aggression on new logos, installed base protected at renewal. Phased or one-shot? Phased moves don't trigger procurement reviews. Netflix raises premium more than standard every cycle. Costco locks the rotisserie chicken and the hot dog combo forever, moves price elsewhere. The anchor protects the brand. One shot only works when you have a Salesforce grade story behind it. Without that, you give it back in concessions within a quarter. Now you have a number. The number isn't the hard part, the rollout is. Get leadership air cover before sales sees the new pricing. Commissions shift, account rankings change, account managers blindside customers if you don't. Warn account owners before customers do. A price increase landing in a customer's inbox without their account manager knowing isn't a pricing problem. It's a relationship problem. Frame it in the customer's language. 7% increase lands harder than pricing now reflects 2 years of inflation we absorbed. Same number, different story. Pilot a cohort. Watch it 2 quarters, then roll wide. Founders and CFOs get pricing wrong all the time. Not because they're bad operators, because pricing is its own discipline. It earns its own diligence and its own care. Senior operators treat it as the last lever, not the first. They exhaust the others. They diagnose what they're solving. They answer 5 questions. Then they roll it carefully. The math is easy. The thinking is the lever. Pull the right lever, win the game. Opinions, not advice.